The Nebraska Department of Education supports the development of high-quality school emergency operation plans, or EOPs, through the provision of training and technical assistance to school district leaders and safety teams. This includes detailed guidance for both the planning and implementation of EOPs. During the phases of prevention, preparation, response, and recovery, school safety teams should consider the access and functional needs of all populations within the school community. The purpose of this video is to provide school safety teams with considerations and strategies for emergency planning related to these needs. The school EOP considers the needs of individuals making up the school community. This includes individuals with physical, cognitive, and developmental disabilities and sensory, communication, social, emotional, behavioral, or trauma-related needs. These needs may be short or long-term, may range in number and severity, and may not be apparent or obvious. Include school staff and community partners that serve individuals with access and functional needs in the emergency operations planning process. This might include community-based mental health professionals, school counselors, school psychologists, or special education teachers. These individuals will bring important perspectives to your team and will assist in recognizing and meeting the needs of all school community members when creating your EOP. If these individuals aren't currently on your team, consider expanding it by inviting them to join. In the standard response protocol, the hold process includes holding in your classroom or area and keeping hallways clear. The hold response is a non-threatening situation and is commonly used when someone who needs medical attention is in a hallway or a certain room of the building, and the school needs to ensure the area is free of students and staff so that emergency personnel have access to the individual who needs help. Hold has also been used by administrators when drug dog searches are conducted in hallway lockers. Consider the phases of the Standard Response Protocol, or SRP. During Secure, pay attention to the emotional and behavioral needs of the students. While classroom and school activities may continue as usual, students may experience distress because of what is happening elsewhere in the school building or outside of the school building. For example, a student who lives across the street from the school may be worried that a situation outside of the building may put their family in danger. Communicate with parents and other community members during a Secure, as they may try to enter the building. Consider how you will meet language needs of all members of the school community. When planning for a lockdown situation, consider how classroom space will accommodate the safety of students and staff. It is essential that individuals in classrooms can move away from windows and doors. The classroom door is locked and the lights are turned off. Spaces should be large enough to accommodate all students, including those in wheelchairs. Additionally, consider the emotional and behavioral needs of students during a lockdown. Students who have experienced trauma or a past active shooter situation may express distress during a lockdown drill or incident. Work with teachers, counselors, and parents and guardians to identify strategies for supporting students during a lockdown. When planning for evacuation, consider student and staff needs related to navigating exit routes. This includes making considerations for the type of assistance, if any, that is needed, and whether there is potential for exit routes to be obstructed or difficult to navigate. For example, a student who is blind may be able to navigate the exit plan during a drill, but not if the hallway is littered with broken glass and ceiling tiles. The student may also have a guide dog that needs to be evacuated. Consider student needs after evacuation. Students or staff may need access to medication typically kept in the health office or have dietary needs that cannot be met with the emergency food supply. When a school community implements a shelter in place, it is likely the result of a situation that requires students and staff to stay inside due to circumstances outside of the school building, such as severe weather or a chemical spill. Individuals may need to stay inside the building for long periods of time, so plan accommodations for service animals, accessible food, feeding equipment, availability of medications, and toilet access. Consider the types of activities staff can implement to keep students occupied in the event of a shelter-in-place order. If the incident is related to a chemical, biological, or radiological threat, the airflow into the building will be shut off. Plan for meeting the needs of students who may experience distress when they realize they cannot go outside, others who may have physiological response to increasing or decreasing temperatures in the building, or those who may have breathing conditions. The standard reunification method, or SRM, will be used when students and staff evacuate the school building and travel to a secondary location to be picked up by parents or guardians. Ensure transportation from the school to the reunification location is accessible and meets the needs of all students and staff. The reunification site should be accessible, and staff should bring supplies to meet students' medical needs. Depending on the reason for the evacuation and relocation, students may experience emotional distress and could benefit from meeting with counselors or mental health professionals at the relocation site. As recovery begins, implement psychological first aid for schools, or PFA, to support students and staff experiencing distress. This intervention can be short-term but can also continue for days, months, and even years. PFA can be provided by a team external to the school, such as the Educational Service Unit or other schools in the region, and, after their initial response, can be transferred to the local district's PFA team for continued emotional support. During the EOP planning process, school and safety teams will complete the special needs student and staff list located in a document found in the appendices. This appendix explicitly outlines the students and staff who may need additional assistance during an incident. In addition to identifying these individuals, the team will identify trained staff who can assist them along with backup staff. Review this list of students and staff each year to confirm the students still attend the school. Document if their needs have changed, and ensure all trained and backup staff are still able to provide assistance. There are several strategies to consider when planning and preparing for emergencies. Some schools prepare go kits, or other types of supplies that are ready in case of emergencies. For example, this might include emergency food supplies that meet the needs of diabetic students and staff, or a one-pager with images and words of the evacuation steps and relocation site to help students with communication and language needs understand what is happening. Such supplies should account for the needs of all students and staff members and should be checked periodically to ensure everything is in working order. Teams should also consider their plans for communication with students, staff, and families that have functional, access, or language needs. For example, alarm systems should be both audible and visual. Signage should include text as well as visual aids, and interpreters should be available. Perhaps the best strategy for ensuring functional and access needs are met during an incident is through training, drills, and exercises. In drills and exercises, school staff and community partners who will implement the EOP can learn more about how the plan does or does not accommodate the needs of all individuals in the school community. Training provided to school staff and first responders may need to include learning how to operate specialized equipment, how to work with service animals, or how to recognize the signs of physical and emotional distress. Drills and exercises specific to the SRP and SRM can help ensure that all populations are planned for and that planning adequately addresses all needs. After drills and exercises are complete, the planning team should discuss any newly identified needs and make any necessary revisions to the EOP. Additional information and resources specific to addressing special needs and emergency planning are available through the Readiness and Emergency Management for Schools Technical Assistance Center or the REMS TA Center. Thank you for watching this video.